This is Sonic, and you're watching JD Frank 20.
What is up, everybody? And here's some SEGA news. Sonic Anime Channel, thank you for this information. SEGA reviews Sonic Superstars' first 6 zones names. SEGA shares the name of the first 6 zones for Sonic Superstars. SEGA reveals the names of the details of these 2D platformers alongside its co-op features. Yes, because at long last, SEGA has unveiled the names because obviously the fans have been complaining that they've been seeing Green Hill Zone, Chemical Plant way too many times, and now they finally addressed the situation. So this is interesting right here. So for the first zone, for example, Bridge Island Zone is familiar to another first level from the zones of past 2D Sonic games, but it takes place on a beach instead of a grassy plain. The acts also change the environment's atmosphere, such as transitioning from daytime to sunset between Act 1 and Act 2. Alright, that's interesting right there. So you're basically going almost a Sonic Advance route, in a way. You know, or almost Sonic 4 Episode 1 in a way, where you had Act 1, Act 2, and Act 3 change, obviously, if you, for modern standards. So the Sonic Superstars zone names, obviously Bridge Island Zone is the first act, or the first area. Then you have Speed Jungle Zone, Sky Tempo Zone, Pinball Carnival Zone, Lagoon City Zone, Sand Sanctuary Zone, Press Factory Zone, and Golden Capitol Zone. You may see some traces of Green Hill Zone there, but it's not Green Hill Zone by name. But you still see the homages of Green Hill Zone. The same thing with Sky Sanctuary, it's basically called Sky Temple. Speed Jungle is at least an original zone. Pinball Carnival Zone, because of course we always have to have a pinball or a pinball level or anything that has to do with casino style gimmicks, because obviously that's part of Sega's past. Always have to shoehorn that in, but they can make it fun at least. Sand Sanctuary Zone, that's an interesting name right there. Sand Sanctuary, Sky Tempo Zone, Sky Sanctuary Zone, and Sand Tempo Zone. I think if you were to rearrange those two, I think that's what they did just to try to throw everybody off. Sand Sanctuary Zone, that's interesting. I never heard a Sega zone being called that. That's odd. Just call it Sand Hill Zone. Press Factory Zone, alright, so that's obviously going to be Eggman's base of operations, as you're seeing this image right here, obviously. While Golden Capitol seems to be some sort of castle with lava traps underneath. That is interesting right there. I mean, you rarely get that in a Sonic game. Not only a castle style zone, but also lava traps. You rarely get that in a classic 2D game, let alone this the last area. I know you're probably saying, what about Lava Reef Zone? That was basically a base, obviously, which Eggman used to basically power up the Death Egg, to get it up to power up the Death Egg, which had crash landed. So, other than that, I don't think I've ever seen a 2D style stage where Eggman basically had a castle style, you know, with lava traps. I don't think I've ever seen it. Not in a 2D standard game. So, this is something interesting right here. Alright. Because I know in Mario, you see that kind of level design all the time. But everyone, let me know what you think about this. You know, again, for Sonic Superstars, again, last week I've already revealed what the Chaos Emerald abilities do for each corresponding emerald. And obviously, when you get all 7 with each respectable character. But this time now you have the full layouts of what the names of the zones are. Are you excited for the names of these zones? Do you find them boring? Do you find these kind of like, alright, something different, I might enjoy it? Just let me know what y'all think, and I gotta go. Peace out.